Of why I went from respiratory to law school. So I was like, you know what? I just need to make money. It was the hardest freaking thing. These petroleum companies are calling my name. Breathe, breathe, but make it legal. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I am Denny Moss, and if you don't know, I am your favorite respiratory therapist and your favorite YouTube, and I'm also now your favorite law student. It is the last semester of law school starting next week. So today I went to work for the last time, and I don't go back to work until like 10 days later because next week I start school. So, if you are in your first semester, welcome to respiratory and law school. Give it up for y'all. This is going to be our best semester, even if it's our first semester. And if you're on the end verge, congratulations, y'all. We're almost there. I am almost there. I applied for graduation from law school. I'm so excited. But the thing is, I have to do resumes. Y'all, I did like 2 of them yesterday. Freaking headache. Because I am that girl who always applies for different things. Well, I will be that girl who applies for different titles. So I want to create my resume for each title. I don't know. Look, I haven't been in the job market since I was 22, okay? I've been at the same place. Granted, we had COVID, but it was like emergency management. So when I was working, my interview didn't come until I got there. And it was like, okay, you're hired. Let's just go here. Okay. So yeah, let me tell y'all, congratulations. Welcome to my channel. And I am so happy that this community has now hit over 6,000 subscribers. The community is deep, but I really, really love when y'all engage with it in the comment section and when y'all like my videos. Like, that keeps me going, that keeps me motivated. But now that we're off our break, I wanted to do something a little different. I didn't start this vlog this morning. I started it now because I'm like, I always kind of start in the morning, but I'm such an extreme yapper when I'm getting ready doing my makeup and when I get home. So I really like talking to y'all during those times. I don't know if y'all can see me. I have light on, but hold on. Is that good? Okay, it's a little better. Okay, so let me tell y'all. Everybody keeps asking me to create a video of why I went from respiratory to law school. And I would really have to walk y'all through it. So when I first decided to go back to school, which I had no plans on going back until after the pandemic, I love the money I was making during the pandemic, but it was also stressful in other ways that didn't involve finances. So I was like, you know what? I just need to make money. So one of my coworkers, she was like, hey, let's go back to school for perfusion, which would have been incredibly easy because as a respiratory therapist, we do perfusion all the time. Circulate perfusion, circulate perfusion. Only thing we need to know is the machine. That's what I thought, right? It was the hardest freaking thing ever because not only am I have this career that I've been working for the longest, these people wanted me to go back to school to take classes that I already had because they were 7 years old. Why? I'm working in the profession. Why do I have to go back and take classes? That's what they wanted. So I was like, you know what? That's what I'm gonna give them. So I went back to school at TSU. Y'all can see some of my videos in the background. Not the background, but on this channel, y'all will see some of my videos of me starting back school at 38. I was going to Texas Southern University. I was taking all these classes and HTC and Sanjak almost at the same time because I was motivated to get this done, right? And then I had an epiphany. After I was doing all that research, I was kind of seeing the job markets and, I was kind of seeing how they were always on call. I would never be with my family. And mind you, I'm 38. So by the time I finish, I would probably be like 42, right? Just hear me out. And it did not fit my lifestyle. I like to travel. I spend like a month in Asia like every other year, and it's like my style. I don't like to be on call because I do have a son who's 13 and he's going to need me. So I was just having all these like preconceived notions that this might not be for me, even though I pegged it out to be one of the easiest career choices that I could ever go towards. It was just easy, okay? So I was like, you know what? I don't know if this is for me, but I want to look into other things. So I was still going to school because I already paid my money. And then I was like, you know what? I kept seeing healthcare law and I kept seeing it everywhere. So my sister is an attorney and I was like, hey, let's talk about this. Let's talk about it. So we had a conversation and I decided to apply. And I was applying for law school at the same time I was applying for perfusion school. So long story short, me and my sister made a decision for me that it would probably be best for me to do law school. And I was like, you know what? Whoever contacts me first, that's where I'm going. So if you really want to know why I went into law school, it was the luck of the draw. Baby, Texas A&M, which is where I go, gig 'em, howdy. They contacted me within 2 weeks after I think I did a personal statement. I talked to like the recruiters. They answered all my questions that I had, and on top of what my sister is, because she's an attorney again. So I got her advice, talked to the people. 2 weeks later, they was like, "You're in. When do you want to start? You can start immediately," which was the next semester. And I was like, "Whoa." Pump your brakes because I was still in school. So I end up starting my fall semester, and let me tell y'all, it was the best choice that I can make. So I enrolled in Texas A&M, started my law classes, and when I tell y'all, it was the best decision. But let me tell y'all, it was like a total 180 because I knew nothing of law besides what they taught me like way back when, I'm sorry. But as I'm going through the program, I really, really love everything. We are taught by the best professors, which are still working. They're all high accolades and they just have everything going for them. So my professors are really, really, really good at what they do. And I've just been enjoying this journey. A lot of people ask me, am I gonna have a JD? And we'll get to that a little later because I feel like that needs to be a video on its own. But I don't know how long I've been talking. I've been talking for a little bit. I can't really tell. But no, let me tell y'all. I'm gonna just tell y'all. So I'm gonna close my door. Y'all, my room is so junky. I swear I come home and I fucking tear. I'm sorry if y'all don't like cussing, but I freaking tear this room completely to shreds. Okay. Okay, so let me tell y'all. So the program that I'm in, I am in law school, but I'm not getting an LLM. I'm getting an MLS. The best decision that you can possibly make when you're doing healthcare law, which is what I'm doing, because you have so much autonomy when it comes to where you want to work. You could work in healthcare, you could work petroleum, you could work any freaking where. But let me tell y'all, I'm gonna start off with healthcare. And the reason why I'm starting off with healthcare law is because if I would have got a JD, I would have been entry level. I'm not an entry level girl. I've been in healthcare for too long, so I would start off like up there at the top. So that's one thing. Like you can get hired as a JD, and yes, I do apply for the same jobs that a JD person would apply for. So, just in case you're wondering, you have more autonomy when you're not barred. More autonomy when you're not barred. And you don't come off as entry level. So, yeah, it's always good to have your respiratory or your nurse or anything that's in the healthcare field. You're already starting off at the top. You're not starting off at entry level. So I already knew, talking to my sister, that was like one of the best decisions that I could possibly make. So, and you get paid really good, y'all. I've been looking at these jobs, and I'm in Houston, by the way. So what you may think may not be a lot, is a lot to me because of the cost of living, the market adjustments. But it's a huge jump from respiratory. And it wasn't like a lateral move. And when I say lateral, I didn't do PA. And if you're a nurse, a lateral move to me would be MP or DMP. Those are lateral moves. So like, you can make money, but like, realistically, you'll make more money working bedside. And I didn't want to do any of that. So I was just like, you know what? This is crazy how much money I am jumping to. But the responsibilities doesn't seem as stressful as like how respiratory is. Like, I come home, I'm tired, my brain been going. I don't know how it is, to be honest, but I'll let y'all know as I get me a new job. But yeah, but I decided that's what I wanted to do. I decided I did not want to be barred, so I did MLS. I didn't worry about that professional title of having Esquire behind my name, because I knew healthcare was going to be my choice. Now, as I'm looking, and me living in Texas, these petroleum companies are calling my name because they are really putting out a lot of money. But but my goal is, this is my goal. My goal. You can have a different goal, but my goal is to do healthcare law, and I want to work in a acute care facility or any type of facility. It could be long term LTAC. I'm sorry. But I want to work there for at least a year and then try to climb the corporate ladder, because I feel like that's necessary. And then I want to also take compliance contracts, because you could do compliance, you could do quality. It's so much that you can do with this degree. It's overwhelming. I'm not gonna lie, it's overwhelming, but it's so much money to be made when you get this degree. And you don't have to be a licensed barred attorney. Okay. So that's how I came into going to law school. If that answers some of y'all questions. And I know I'm gonna get more questions, and I'm gonna show y'all like the jobs and how much they pay, and all that good stuff. I think like the lowest job I seen pays 153K, which is not bad. Um for starting that field. I don't think it's bad at all. Especially from where I'm coming from. But you know, any to each his own. Like, if you want more money, you can, but that's the lowest pay I've seen. The lowest. So I think what I really wanted to tell y'all is, because we have this conversation too, because you know, I work in an acute care facility, and everybody's asking me and they want to know. And then when I tell them, they're like so excited, and it sounds like something that is obtainable, and it really is. Like, you can attain this degree. It's let me tell y'all, you still take the first year law classes with the law students. Y'all, I be want to sit on the bed. I have last semester. I sat on the bed and cried. Okay, I cried tears. It was so hard, and I was just like, I want to quit. I want to quit. And my boyfriend was like, "You have an A in the class," and I was like, "I don't care. I want to quit." Because again, I'm coming from respiratory. I'm coming from a science background. Okay, off topic, but still on topic. Why women in STEM? Like, why aren't we women in STEM? Anyway, but I feel like I'm coming from a science background, so, but it's not political science. So I'm like learning all this stuff and it's accelerated and I'm like pulling my hair out and Lord, what have I gotten myself into? And I feel like now that I am close to the finish line, y'all, I just want to cry because I never thought in a million years that I would be graduating from a law program with at like such a prestigious college, which is Texas A&M. It's like top 23 law schools, okay? And the program is accelerated, yes, but I feel like if you can do respiratory, you could do anything, and I really mean that. Again, I am a 4.0 student, and it's a lot of reading. If you think for 1 second you know what a lot of reading is once you get into law school, they're gonna prove you different. They're gonna prove you wrong. And people like, I don't like to read. I don't like to read. I don't like to write. I don't like to sit at my MacBook all day. I don't like any of that. But I know my goal is to complete this program and I wanted to do it to the best of my ability. And I wanted to get out the bedside. Not that I'm leaving completely because I'm not even applying for a legal job at my facility because I want to stay at my facility as a respiratory therapist. I work too fucking hard for that license and that's not something I can see myself giving up. Hear me out. If it gets to be too much, I will, but I don't see myself not being a respiratory therapist. I've been it my whole life. I don't know. But I just want to say that it's attainable and it's not a lateral move. And it's like getting in that corporate field with just a little bit, not saying that we're not respected, but like, what? I come through there with my clothes. Look what I have on. I have y'all, I'm not gonna know how to act when I have to put on real clothes to go to work. I'm like, oh, it's cold. Let me throw on big old scrubs that don't the boxy as hell that don't fit. And look at me now. I'm about to put on I'm about to put on some real clothes and do like quality control and patient safety and compliance and regulatory health care and like the stuff that I always knew I could possibly do in the corporate world, but now that I found this law program, it fits me. Like I feel like I can do anything now. And which I am. So like if y'all don't want a lateral move, but y'all want to do law, because I have seen so many nurses saying they going back to get a LLM. Don't do it. Just get a healthcare law master's. I'm telling you, it's MLS, master's in healthcare law. You cannot go wrong. You cannot go wrong. My friend has his LLM. He's studying to take his bar and he's a full-fledged nurse. And he was like, I didn't want to litigate. I didn't want to do any of that. And I'm the same way. I don't want to litigate. Even though I could, I don't want to go back to school and take the bar and litigate and take these cases. No, I wanted more autonomy. I wanted something that I know I can strive and still do healthcare. And this was my route, and this is why I took it. And I will talk more about it when y'all ask me questions. I'll let y'all know in the comment section. Again, I am Denny Moss. And what is my new slogan? Breathe, but make it legal. I'm breathe, but make it legal. That is your girl. Okay, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to talk to y'all. Y'all know I'm always excited to talk to y'all. But yeah, I always want y'all to think about the things that y'all could do. You nurses, listen to me clear. You don't have to do NP. You don't have to do DNP. You RTs, you don't have to go to nursing school. You don't have to get a PA. Like you can do other things that is not a lateral move. And I call it lateral, not because you're not educated, because of the pay. And it's not even lateral because y'all still be at bedside. Y'all come back at bedside and be like, I made more as a bedside. I made more as this. I made more as that. And it's just like, okay, what's next? Like, what do you have in store? Like, what do you want to do? And then I tell y'all about what I'm doing. And then y'all like, wait, we can do that? Yeah. I am not a gatekeeper. When I learn something, I want everybody to learn it too. And I don't mind being a teacher. Okay? I know I'm combing my hair, but you know, I'm just a girl. Okay, so I will see y'all later. Thank you for watching my channel. Thank you, all 6,000 of you guys. I've never thought in a million years that I'll be sitting up here talking to my camera propped up with 6,000 people, telling y'all about healthcare and law and how bad they go together. They go together real bad, and I'll keep y'all posted on my journey because I am new to it, and I want everybody just to consider your options. Like, if you don't want to be bedside, don't be bedside. It's other things out there that we can do, and I'm here to motivate y'all and inspire y'all to do them. I really appreciate y'all again. 6,000. I'm overwhelmed. Like, I'm so overjoyed. I've just been thanking God because last month I was at 800 followers. I kid y'all not. And 6,000 is crazy to me. And especially, look. I'm educating y'all. What? Anyway, I'll see y'all later because I'll keep going. Bye.